Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Sunday the 6th of March 2022. In today's Millwall news, we've got this story from the readingchronicle.co.uk. And why are we bringing you that? Well, Millwall defender Jake Cooper speaks out on celebration against former side. At the time, it looked like he was kind of giving it to the Reading fans a little bit, and no, that's not what happened at all. So you'll see what actually happened as we read this story. Mill goal scorer Jake Cooper is hoping they can pull through as Reading teeter about the relegation zone. Cooper joined the club in the academy and broke through to play more than 50 times for the Royals. His header before half-time was enough to pick up the 3 points for the Lions, the side he joined from Reading in 2017. Speaking to the media after his match-winning goal, he said, "It's a bit of a shame, me from the outside looking in, with some of the stuff that's happened, deducting points and things like that. It's a shame. I'm still really fond of this club. I was here from the academy. It was a big part of my life. I live locally, so I'm hoping they can pull through. I believe they got good enough players, a lot of good staff still at the club." Celebrating against the former side is always a controversial topic among supporters, and many would be frustrated to see the Bracknell raised giant wheel away after his towering header. However, the centre-back explained that it was meant in respect to the name for which the stand is named. Eamon Dolan. Dolan was the head of academy at Reading from 2004 until his untimely death of cancer in 2016. Bringing through stars such as Gylfi Sigurdsson, Alex Pearce and Cooper himself. Speaking about the celebration, he said, "I was actually pointing up to the stand, the Eamon Dolan stand. He was a big part of my career and a big part of me making it as a professional footballer. I'm still really close to his family and they had a big impact in my life. So it was just a tribute to him." So there you go. He was pointing up to the name at the top of the stand. That's what he was doing. He wasn't giving it to the Reading fans, so that's kind of cleared that up, and good for him. There you go. We're going to move on to this story now from londonnewsonline.co.uk, and they say Blackburn boss sets to win target for playoffs, but Millwall can cut gap to them on Tuesday night. Blackburn Rovers manager Tony Mowbray has urged his players not to dwell on Saturday's 2-0 defeat at Fulham, with informed Millwall heading to Ewood Park on Tuesday night. The Lions made it 5 wins in a row with Jake Cooper's header, clinching maximum points at Reading on Saturday. Blackburn are 4th in the table, but their South London opponents are only 5 points behind with a game in hand. The fixture was due to be played last month, but was called off just 45 minutes before kick-off, a decision which Millwall Chief Executive Steve Kavanagh described as farcical. Mowbray told Blackburn's official website, "We have to win 5 more games, maybe more than that. Let's not worry about what other teams do. We have 3 home games coming up and we hope to get good points from those home games. The nature of the goals we lost at Fulham were really disappointing for us. Mistakes are mistakes, you have to accept them sometimes. They don't really deserve both goals in my opinion, but you can't be too critical because our goalkeeper's been pretty good for us this season, keeping clean sheets and helping us win football matches. He made 1 or 2 errors today, but at that same time, we've not really sucked the ball into their net. There's no blame game here, it's just unfortunate. We're playing against a good side, of course we are. Fulham are top of the league for a reason. They have very talented players and an identity of playing. It was a difficult game for us. I thought we competed well, but it was hard to impose your style against a team like Fulham. Indeed, there you go." I don't know how many games Blackburn Rovers have left, but Mill have 12 left. So if you imagine he thinks they need to win 5, I imagine they will have a similar amount of games left than us, either 12 or 13, or maybe 11. So you're looking at having to win half your games to get in the playoffs. How many would we have to win? So we've got the 12 games left, 6 home, 6 away. If we need to win 5, could we do that? Well, we might need to win 7 because we are behind. So it's a tough ask. It is a tough ask, and we shall see. But the players keep chugging along, and they keep the dream alive, just going game by game, which is all you can ask for them to do. And let's hope as we go game by game that it all adds up and we're still there or thereabouts in a couple of weeks' time. So that's it for the stories today. We're going to move on now to the stats from yesterday's game. This is the XG over the length of the game from the website experimental361.com, and they give the XG as 0.8 to Reading and 0.4 to Millwall. So two teams who did very well defending. They had a few more attacks than us. They didn't really have any clean-cut shots though, and we just about nicked it there. We kind of stole that victory away from them. Yes, so they had nearly double the chances that we had, and didn't end up scoring. Luckily, the shots that they had were basically straight at Barbiakowski. 3 or 4 shots were right hand, and pretty decent saves he made, but they were right at him, and we could say, well, they were right at him, but he's got to be in the right place positionally in the goal mouth. So that's another good display from Barbiakowski. Going forward, not so much. Pretty disjointed up front. I don't know if it's right. So Tyler Berry seemed to have an off day, but I don't think it's. I think him and Benekofobi not really working well together, as compared to Mason Bennett. Maybe that's just a one-off. Maybe it was just Berry having an off day, but we shall see. We shall see. You would imagine there might be some changes for the next game, Blackburn away, and we'll see how they go up front against them. It's interesting that Jed Wallace and Benekofobi were taken off early. Obviously, probably try and give them a little bit more freshness for the upcoming game in the midweek. So there you go. That's the XG for this game. Moving on now to this from infogoal.net. So they actually give the XG a lot closer. They give it as 0.54 to Reading and 0.38 to Millwall. So there you go, and you can see the match events there. 2 yellow cards for us, 2 yellow cards for them, and there you go. Let's look at the XG shot map, which is the expected goals plotted on a map of the pitch, and you can see here. Now, neither team really had any clear-cut chances. Reading not really doing anything inside the pitch, not really having any half decent chances, just lots of small tiny chances, but the same with Millwall, but we had less than them, but we ended up scoring. You can see the one with the yellow ring, that's Jake Cooper, he scored that one, and then he obviously had one earlier, about 10 minutes earlier, and that didn't end up going in. This one here is probably the one that set up the goal, Danny McNamara. So the whole what would you call it, passage of play, the whole passage of play that led to the goal was pretty brilliant. So Jed Wallace counter-attacking, played it up to Tyler Burry. Tyler Burry just lost it. Their defender tried to play out to Junior Hoylett. Danny McNamara spotted this, managed to run forward, nick the ball off of Junior Hollett before it could get to him. Runs forward with purpose. Couple of touches, smashes it into the top right hand corner, and that was going in, but the goalkeeper saves it, knocks it out for a corner kick. From that corner kick, Jed Wallace to Jake Cooper, goal. So that whole passage of play, pretty decent attacking football from Millwall. Now, not a lot of end products, but there was attack. We were doing some pretty decent attacking football. At times, we had to do a lot more defending in the second half, but still, even then, we were counter-attacking pretty decently, just not getting the final product off and getting the shot on the target there. But we ended up winning, so who cares? I'll take that all day long. And not only that, but our passing in terms of keeping the ball and keeping it away from Reading was very good, very, very good passing. Pretty decent. Saville, Billy Mitchell, McNamara, very, very good passing. Even George Evans, when he comes on, some very good passing. So fairness rating, this website gives a fairness rating. Was that a fair result? Just not really. 64 out of 100. So they probably think that game should have been either a 1-1 or a 0-0, but it wasn't. We won it 1-0. So up yours. So moving on now to this website, whoscored.com. Right, so here's the match report. You can see Millwall were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities from set pieces. Indeed. Lost possession off them, gave away a lot of free kicks around the box, and committed a high number of individual errors. Indeed. And you can see there on the right hand side, top performers, Jay Cooper again, 8.5. I think last week he got 8.4. That's almost certainly going to get him in the championship team of the week again. Yeah, for the second game in a row. Jay Cooper, man of the match. Fantastic stuff there. You can see here as we scroll down, attempts, so 11 to 7, 11 to Reading, 7 to Millwall, 9 to 2 open play, 2 to 5 set piece. So we did rely heavily on the set pieces. That's where the goal come from. Not only that, so because we didn't have that many shots, we had 7 shots, 1 goal. That's 14% conversion rate, which is not that bad. It's 14%. That's quite good. When we're not playing that well, our conversion rate is usually around about 5-6%. So 14% is pretty decent. Here's the where the attacking was taking place. Shot directions, shot zones, a lot of long shots, especially Reading from outside the box. Action zones. Okay, cool. Player positions. So there you can see Millwall playing pretty compact there. Benicophobe dropping in deep to fill in the void in the middle. Tyler Berry playing the point. Pretty good. Danny Ballard getting forward closer to McNamara than Wallace was to get Malone. Malone was bombing forward a lot more. But there you go, there's a position. Pretty decent. So moving on now, let's just have a look at the pass types before we do. So yeah, so Reading 521 passes to Millwall's 445, 23 crosses to 7, 0 to 1 through balls, 74 to 76 long balls, and 424 to 361 short passes. And the average pass streak was actually 5 for them and 4 for us. So that's not too bad either. So moving on now to this, you can see the match events there, as we've already seen. As we scroll down, if you look at the club badges, you can see the average player rating is 6.42 to Reading and 6.76 to Millwall. So Millwall's players were rated better, which I would pretty much agree with this. Cooper 8.5. Yeah, you would imagine that. That would be that. But Saville, yes, Saville was fantastic in yesterday's game, and Billy Mitchell as well. Yeah, I would agree with that. And again, Bury. Yeah, Bury didn't have the best of games, and he's the lowest rated starter of Millwall, 6.1. And yeah, I probably agree with that. So pretty much all fine with the ratings there for me, to be honest with you. So let's move on to the shots. So as we've seen, 11 to them, 7 for us. And there you go, look, Bury and Afobe, not a shot between them. Wallace had 2 and Cooper had 2. Interesting. I wonder what will that will be when we look at the shots on target. I bet it's probably might even be only one shot on target. Possession wise, so pretty even for us. It's not it's 54 to 46. Usually it's a lot worse for us than that in some games, but interestingly, so Danny Drinkwater 8.6% of the match possession just for him. Didn't really do much with it, did he? And for Millwall, it's Murray Wallace on the ball the most, 6.4. Okay. Pass success percentage. Both teams pretty similar. And yeah, here you go. Billy Mitchell 81, Jake Cooper, Ballard, Murray Wallace. They were doing a little sideways balls, giving it, going, keeping it, doing very well, passing it around. And yeah, those are pretty good numbers. Wallace down at 60. He was doing trying to make things happen, of course, and these corners and such would have knocked his numbers down, but 60% for Jed Wallace. Okay, so dribbles 8 to 2. Okay. Aerials 121 to 24. So everyone on Millwall winning an aerial except for Jed, Scott Malone and Biakowski. Cooper with 7. There you go. He gets a goal when he wins 7 aerials, which is the most of any player on the pitch. Tackles 14 to 16. Saville 5 tackles. Yeah. Saville coming in and saving what would have been almost certainly a goal in the 6-yard box. Very prescient interception to run in there. Not only that, but he kicked it out for a corner, but he ended up walking away with a free kick. So very, very, very good from George Saville yesterday. Very, very good. So corners 6 to 2. So we only had 2 corners and we scored from one of them. Interesting. Dispossessed 7 to 9. So in terms of losing the ball, having the ball taken off of you, Jed Wallace 4 times there. So there you go. So now we're going to move on to player stats. Basically what you've seen, but just a little bit more detail. Player ratings, yeah, there's so Jay Cooper 8.49, George Saville, Billy Mitchell, the only other 2 in 7. Let's have a look at so George Evans coming on for Tyler Bury, and he got a higher score than him, which suggests how poorly Tyler Bury was playing yesterday. He had 69 minutes on the pitch and got a score of 6.11. Then George Evans had 21 minutes on the pitch and managed to do more and get a higher score than Tyler Bury did in less time on the pitch, so 6.18. So there you go. So let's have a look at touches. Who had the most touches? Billy Mitchell, Murray Wallace and Danny Ballard. Yeah, the 3 players who were just passing it around the most. Then George Saville, interesting, and Zach Lovelace came on very late but managed to get a touch. Interesting. Okay, so let's move on to offense. So how many shots and how many shots on target? So as we've seen, 7 shots, and these are the players who had them. None of the forwards had a shot, by the way, except for Jed Wallace. Shots on target, so two shots on target. So 2 shots on target, 1 goal. But both of them happened in that same passage of play that led to the goal. Danny McNamara's shot on target was palmed away for the corner, which led to Jake Cooper's header, which was the second shot on target, which ended up being the only goal of the game. There you go. So other than that little passage of play, we didn't have any other shots on target, which thank God we can defend, because otherwise you can't be doing this and winning the game. But our defence and our goalkeeper's fantastic, so it works for us. And you know what? I'll take that any day a week. In terms of away games, we would do that in every away game. I don't care. But at home, you want a little bit more. You want to take it to them a bit more. And even against a team like Middlesbrough at the top of the table, when we play them Saturday, it's kids for £1. Let's put on a show. Let's fucking ram it down. So let's move on now to defense. Who did what in the defensive efforts? So tackles, George Saville, Scott Malone. Okay, 5-3-2. Only 7 players with tackles. Interesting. Okay. Interceptions, 4 players with interceptions. So one of them, probably Danny McNamara's one. That's the one that led to the goal where he intercepted it off of Junior Hoylett. Clearances, well, here you go. Jake Cooper, 10 clearances. So he won the aerials and he won 10 clearances. Well, he did 10 clearances. And then Danny McNamara with 5, Ballard with 4. And then all these players with clearances. Very good defensive work. Very, very good defensive work. Block shots. Three players with block shots. And who gave away the fouls? Yeah. So Danny Ballard giving 3 fouls and didn't get booked. Probably could have got booked late on. Lucky he did a foul late on that didn't really need to do. Pushing a player down, walking over him. Gave away a free kick. Could have been a bit scary, that right at the end of the game, but we survived it. So all's well that ends well. So now moving on to passing. In terms of, so we've seen the accuracy, but out of how many passes? So let's sort by accuracy. So there you go. Look, Tyler Burry only passed the ball 4 times in the 69 minutes he was on the pitch. Okay, that's kind of, but he's 100%, but only passing it 4 times when you're on the pitch for 69 minutes. That's you can see why his score was so low. And Zach Lovelace's passing it once and getting again 100% pass accuracy. But we got to go down to where we're going. So Billy Mitchell, 81% accuracy off of 59 passes. That's very good. And Murray Wallace as well. And Jake Cooper as well. Yeah, pretty decent. As we scroll down. Okay. So let's look for crosses and accurate crosses. So not a lot of crosses because we weren't really that type of game. Because didn't really have anyone to target with aerial balls. To be honest with you, Afobe not really playing that type of game. So there weren't that many crosses. So the 2 crosses from Jed Wallace were the 2 corners. They were both accurate. I think, yeah, Jay Cooper got on both of them, didn't he? Yeah, he did get on both of them. One went over or wide, and one went in the goal. So there you go. Danny McNamara 2-1, Scott Malone 3-1. But yeah, just those crosses there, and long balls and accurate long balls. So Bart Biakowski, not the best. That's not that bad for him, to be honest. Yeah, 50%. Murray Wallace 11-4, Mitchell 10-4, Jed 7-3, Scott Malone 5-0. Yeah, his passing wasn't the best yesterday. He was bombing forward, getting in dangerous areas, and then no one really for him to pass to in the box. So there you go. I think that's about it. That's it. Just want to show you again, Jake Cooper there, 8.49, 2 games in a row, man of the match, almost certainly in the Championship Team of the Week again. Our major goal threat at the moment, and his defensive work is top notch as well. Long may it continue. Long may it continue. Fantastic stuff. So there you have it. That is it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.